mentioned that I had learned a lot of things on YouTube. That YouTube is a source of education. I'm a graduate of YouTube University, are you? Education. YouTube is a fabulous source of education. So, hey y'all, Grandma Rose here. Oh, it is such a gorgeous day. No, the sun's not out, it's cloudy. And I'm out here, I don't have on a jacket. I don't have on even a heavy sweater. Just a lightweight sweater that's open at the neck. This is amazing. And I have a dog that wants to come out. He's not coming out right now. He's gotten over the fence again and I've got to fix it. And I can't let him out again until I fix it. Okay. I was called out by Anna of Mimsy's Garden. 5 reasons why YouTube. 5 reasons why I go to YouTube. Not 5 reasons why I am a contributor to YouTube, but why do I use YouTube? I've heard other people talking about this too. I've put off a little bit doing it, trying to come up with 5 reasons, and I've only been able to come up with 4. Well, I think what it is that my 4 are too broad. If I broke it down into smaller bits, then I easily have 10 to 15. However, number 1 on my list is education. So what have I learned? What have I learned? Why do people call YouTube University? Yeah, have you ever heard that? YouTube University. Why? Because YouTube is the source of everything. Well, that's not right. That's not correct. YouTube is not the source of everything. But if you want to learn how to do something, you can pretty much learn how to do it on YouTube. Someone will put up a video on how to do it. I came to YouTube and I learned carpentry. That's one of the things that I've learned on YouTube. One of the things I use YouTube for. One of the things I use YouTube for is learning how to do things that I didn't know how to do before. Lots of things that you would have to pay someone to take a class in how to do these things. People have gone to trade schools to learn how to do the things, paid thousands of dollars at a trade school to learn how to do the things that you can learn how to do on YouTube. So that's one of the things that you can say it's a source of education. Well, another kind of education it could be, so this could be number 2, is reminders on how to do things that you had forgotten how to do before. Or maybe to learn from an expert. You have heard that so-and-so, an expert in the field, has a YouTube video on how to do something. And you can learn from that expert. For instance, let me use this as a for instance. One of the things that I use YouTube for, another thing that I use YouTube for, is knitting and crafts. Not just things that you would learn trades, that you would go to trade school to learn, like learning mechanics and carpentry, but I learned knitting. One of my favorite things that I do knitting-wise, is knitting socks. I was able to go to YouTube and I was able to learn things from this lady who wrote the book that I learned how to knit socks from. Now that's amazing. How amazing is that? So yeah, I got to learn from the experts. That's another reason to go to YouTube. You get to learn from the experts. Or if not the person who wrote the book, you get to learn from somebody who is just as skilled as the person who wrote the book. Maybe even more skilled than the person who might teach a class in your community. And YouTube is an amazing resource. So my number 1 reason is education. That's 1. Now I've talked about 2 or 3 things in education that you could list separately. Networking. Number two reason is networking. Well, along with networking goes community. But when I say networking, you meet people, you create a community on YouTube. If you're maybe in a live chat, you might, quote, meet someone, sort of like what the internet was like back in the early 90s, when people were going into chat rooms, and they were meeting people in chat rooms on the internet. But we do the same thing on YouTube. We may watch a live video, and there are people who are also watching the same live video, and we're all commenting on that video, and then we start conversing with each other. That is, we're developing a community. Last year, I went down to Wiggins, Mississippi to what called the Deep South Gathering. It was organized by Danny and Wanda King of Deep South Homestead. Well, the next gathering is coming up, and I'm going to meet again the same people that I got to meet in person. What do you call it? You meet these same people that you have met online. You get an even deeper relationship with these people than you get just on the computer. You meet people with the same interest, and that's why I say networking. Because networking is creating a community and meeting people who can give you answers and help you. Well, you think of networking when it comes to getting a job. That if you have a network of people, those people may be able to tell you if there is a job opening, and you get a heads up on a new job opening. Well, the same kind of thing goes with the YouTube community. These people may be able to recommend things to you that you never knew about. And if you hadn't, quote, air quote, met these people online, then you never would have learned about that. So yes, number 2 is networking. Now, how many different variations of networking can you say? Several, probably. Another thing I use YouTube for are reviews. You want to buy a product. You see something that looks really good, and you think you might like it. So what do? What do? I get online, I go to YouTube, and I see, has anybody else bought that item, bought that brand of item? What do they think about it? Does it work well for them, or would they rather they had bought something else? The reviews on YouTube are invaluable. And there's another thing, prepping. I knew nothing about the prepping community. There's community again. There's that word, community. Okay, so there we go. Reviews, community, education. What about entertainment? How often do you get on YouTube and watch a movie? How often do you go to YouTube and listen to music, watch a video? It is so much fun to go on the music videos and watch a concert. This concert that probably would never show up on television. But I've been able to watch music concerts of big bands that I've never seen play live. And I'm able to do that on YouTube. TV shows, movies, concerts, more music, how to play the guitar, how to play the piano, there you go, there's your learning again in education. You can't get around that. What else? Reference. Yep. Reference. News. Let's say news. I don't have a TV. I don't get to watch network news. So there's 4 or 5. How many things is that? I don't know. So I get my news on YouTube. Sometimes we'll get a live stream from some event that's going on that I would not have known about, and maybe even mainstream media, mainstream news network might not ever cover it. That's another thing too, is if you watch network news, or as let's say network news, NBC, ABC, CBS, there's Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Reuters. What are some other ones? Newspapers. Newspapers from other cities, other towns. You hear about something. You want to know more about it, so you get online and look it up. Let's say one more thing. There again, there's the news. We'll talk about news. I did a video on this. See, I am more than just a watcher. I'm a creator also. But I started this watching. I was a watcher. I was a YouTube watcher long before I was a YouTube creator. More than 10 years ago. In fact, before I moved here to Mississippi, I was a YouTube watcher. I had a totally different name altogether. That name may still be out there somewhere. I was Jen in 10, Ginintn, Jen in 10. Because Ginger, Virginia, in Tennessee. I was Jen in 10. I wish somebody had told me about the big log trucks going by here in this area when I was going to be living. I might have chosen someplace else to live. But I love my house. So, news.